Why is it so hard to focus when you're in your room? Or change your life when you surround yourself with bad influences? Why does your environment have such a strong effect on you, even when you want to change? Once I figured this out, my whole life changed. Once I was able to change my environment, everything about my life changed. So the first thing I did was get out of my room. Like physically get out of my room. And what I mean by that is because if you think about it this way, your room is associated with instant gratification. You have an internet connection and some privacy. You know, some people have roommates, maybe you have brothers and sisters that you share a room with. But for the most part, you have some privacy and an internet connection. You know, it's where maybe your computer is, where you can play video games. Right? Let's be honest, a lot of us have jacked off in our room. Okay, because we have privacy, we have an internet connection. This is where we get tempted to break our nofap streak. This is where we get tempted to make the wrong decision. It's when you're in your room. Why is it that when you're on your bed scrolling on YouTube, it makes it more difficult for you to go to sleep? A lot of people have insomnia, and the reason why is because they associate their bed not just with sleep, but also with scrolling on Instagram. Your bed should be for sleeping. Your room should be for resting. And that's it. So when I started to work on my business, not inside my room, like at coffee shops or public libraries, I became way more productive. And if you're not, if you're like a student, just think about it this way, like schoolwork. If you do schoolwork not in your room, and in public libraries, I say public because it's free. Right, but coffee shops are really nice because it's like the environment's really nice. Everybody's there, they're working on something. Everybody has their laptops out. It's hard, you can't just open your laptop and work on schoolwork and then get tempted to watch porn because you're in a public place. You can't just open up the browser and to switch tabs to watch porn. You can't do that, you're in a public space. Which makes it easier, it has like this social pressure to focus on what you're trying to accomplish. And so, there's a lot of really great, audios on YouTube, like basically like white noise for if you're in a coffee shop to drown out the noise of other people talking, right? It allows you to lock in when you're inside a public place like this. And in general, you should spend as little time in your room as possible because, again, your room is associated with instant gratification. A lot of people, they're going to notice, and I notice myself, you're going to become tempted to play video games, to waste time when you're in your room alone, because it's easy to just mess up on a habit. It's easy to just whip out your phone and scroll on Instagram or, worse. It's easy to do these things when you're in a room. So spend as little time in your room as possible. Just go in your room for sleep. Don't become tempted by your room. But it's not just your environment in terms of physical geography, in terms of being in your room or not being in your room. Your environment is also the people that you surround yourself with. It's your friends and family that have an influence on you. This is arguably more important than my previous point of the physical place that you reside in. Your environment is who you surround yourself with. And this is arguably more important than anything else that I'm going to talk about in this video. If you surround yourself with degen people that smoke weed, that watch porn, that do bad habits that you don't want to do, you're going to become more like them. Because it doesn't matter how strong your willpower is. Your environment will influence you, and these people will influence you, whether you like it or not. It's not an issue of willpower. When you hang out with degenerate people, you're going to notice that your conversations are going to be more degenerate. You're going to start talking more about video games, about their interests, which is going to be more degenerate. Porn, who their favorite porn star is. If you surround yourself with people that you want to be more like, the conversations are going to be better. They're going to be more uplifting. It's not going to be as stupid. It's not going to be as dumb. The conversations are going to be more higher level. Your consciousness is going to be raised by hanging out with these people. You're going to be talking more about your personal goals. You're going to talk more about higher level things. And as a result, you're going to be more like these people because you're going to influence your brain, your inputs, right? What you put inside your brain, the conversations that you talk about affect how you think. And so you start to have more intelligent, higher level conversations. It's going to affect your thinking for the better. And a lot of people surround themselves with really bad people, that are not supportive of their goals. You know, when they go to the gym, they notice that the people around them shame them instead of uplift them. And they wonder why it's so hard to accomplish their goals. And obviously, I think you should use the shame as motivation. But also, if you constantly surround yourself with bad people, on some level that's going to rub off on you. And you don't want that to rub off on you. So at some point, you got to cut these people out of your life. You know, you got to cut out these degenerate people. And some of these people are well-meaning. You know, some of these people are they're fun to be around. You know, when you're around these people, you smoke weed and you drink and you play video games and you watch movies and it's fun. But if you actually think back and you realize, man, like I really wanted to accomplish things in my life, and I think this person is holding me back. At some point, you need to cut them out of your life. At some point, you need to get better friends. And for a lot of people, that's going to be hard to do because some of these people are family members, which sometimes you can't really cut them out of your life, but distance yourself as best as you can because these people are affecting who you are. They're affecting your potential. And sometimes you have to go through a period of loneliness, and I already made a video on why loneliness is bad, but sometimes you got to go through a period of loneliness in order to find the right people. And once you do, your life will change because you're surrounding yourself with better people, with better influences. So if you change your environment, your whole life will change. So anyway, I make videos on self-improvement related topics like this one. So if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. That's all I got for you. See ya.